And welcome back to Halo Rec League. A little bit of a break, but don't worry, we're back with We Get Wiped and Inept on another live fire King of the Hill. Two teams 2-0, looking to move to 3-0. We Get Wiped, early control of the point, getting the kills, and I think they'll be able to string that to an overshield as well. 3 seconds on that, Klimps. They have all the control that they need for it.
They've got everything they need. They also got the sniper in pocket, at least, so they continue to get more time on the flag, or on the hill rather. They're able to continue to get these kills, but they do get traded out as they lose all of their bodies. And Inept, with the comeback, they should be able to work their way over to a capture and get some of the points, but it still seems like We Get Wiped are just able to hold on. The spawns come in for them and they're able to rotate and just continue to hold their ground.
Yeah, and finally Inept getting over there to get some time on that first hill and have a little bit of a setup, everything that they need on that C side, but the sniper is in Sunbert's hands, able to find a kill. Malachi able to find one as well, as that is 3 dead. Just worksheet and a clean 4 dead for We Get Wiped, and that should be enough to get themselves very close to that first point. Inept spawning out a back C, and I don't think they're going to be able to get that. They do have the spawns for this next hill, but We Get Wiped get an early 1-0 lead.
That's an easy wipe there, at least so far, for We Get Wiped. Because, yes, they do control their first point, but unlike in the last series, this time it's Inept to be able to have the control and get the tower point, at least so far. But nice trades coming through here for We Get Wiped, as they've got the current advantage and now can begin to work on the point. But wait, still one body from Inept. Igful works his way through and now will smoke his way deep underground and try to rotate, wait for some of his teammates and assistance, but also still maintain the control of the point.
Yeah, and they do have the work of the point, and Inept trying their best to keep this control, which they do have, but they need a couple of kills before they can get this time, which they are getting them. We Get Wiped, still pushing this up. A shroud screen goes out, trying to stay alive, but not able to do it. Inkful going down, but Aka gets himself 2 kills. Worksheet finds another one, and they still maintain this control somehow, finding all the kills, but Malachi gets himself a quick 2-piece. Inkful gets one. So many trades going out, and We Get Wiped finally find themselves a little bit of time on this hill.
Still continuing to get those points here. This is a little bit closer on Joe, at least I think so far. What we saw last in between Loudwine and E divided, but still plenty of time to figure out exactly how things are going to play out. Nice melee up in mid. Again, Tywin, or Malachi rather, able to win a couple of their fights. Tywin as well, winning a couple of them, and point control in favor for We Get Wiped, rather, as they've got the tower control, they've got the sniper, the angles are on lock. A nice kill could come here from Malachi, but it's great pre-fire to come through here from Inept. They continue to put the pressure on.
Yeah, the pressure indeed. Hitting one snipe, in fact, it does get 1 kill. Inkful finds one himself. Killed going Inept's way, as now the sniper 1 HP up top, not able to hit the shot. His worksheet finds another kill, and Malachi gets a beautiful no-scope and chains a kill with that, and just playing his life back tower, doing such a good job at continuing to have this pressure over here and getting traded out. And We Get Wiped doing a great job at making sure that Inept can't find that point. A big play for him to make sure of that, and finding the overshield as well, and a big turn of events, and We Get Wiped looking poised to find their second point of the game.
The overshield helps so much in that fight, at least for Sunbird, as he's continuing to be able to rotate and create hell for Inept, as all of the bodies fall except for Inkful, the last alive Tywin. Beginning to rotate towards the next cap, and there it is. Second point captured here for We Get Wiped. Already rotations coming through, the fight's being won, but not quite. Sniper gets dropped down. Just depends on who is able to recover, but still, it's all on to We Get Wiped as they continue to find their frags, find their kills, as Inept are down 2 bodies yet again.
Yeah, and starting to get some kills, and Inept working their way into here, and another big play worksheet, playing his life back on that pillar back A, and now they get the control of that point, and We Get Wiped gonna sit there, wait for their players to spawn in. Good job from them to make sure they don't stagger themselves all too much, but Inept firmly in control of that third point as they lose one player, one trade going through, and that's something that they can afford to have here as they back down deceased over here, but a couple of kills going Malachi's way as he finds his third. That is a big triple kill as they find themselves the break and some time on this point.
Yeah, Inept's just not able to close out as much as they wanted. That early pick really punished them, Joe, because, well, there's the man advantage. That's all you need, really, sometimes in the fights. And the brute force from Malachi to be able to find those kills definitely helped out as he's atop the team. And Inept's struggling a little bit in the frag department. That's why you find them down 2 points as of right now. But still, they're trying to battle for this control, and it seems as though they've won it out and will be able to hopefully secure their first point.
Yeah, and I don't believe that's going to happen after they gave up that overshield and not a lot of time left before We Get Wiped. That nade, a big one to force them off the point, and Inept get a kill. It's going to be a huge clutch here if they can keep them off, and they're doing just that. Inept finding the kills, keeping them off the point as they've found the control of the point. One more player to clean up. Not yet dead, and there he goes. Big kills for them as they are sitting pretty to get their first point, and they do it. A big clutch for them to find it. What a play for them as they find themselves back into the game. A huge swing is going down 3-0, a big difference from really their current situation of being down 2-1.
Huge fights back and forth, tooth and nail. This one more competitive than the last, and again, still bodies of each team trying to fight for the control of this point. Overshields will be heavily in play as the point is right on top. So whoever has control of the point should easily be able to have a nice defense as well. But we'll have to see exactly how things play out as the point still remains in control of Inept as they continue to grab more and more time here on the point worksheet. We'll find a nice frag as he's really starting to light up the scoreboard at 2.0 KD just about for himself. And now the point take comes through, but it's We Get Wiped. Sorry, I was trying to find the teammate. We Get Wiped to get the control.
Yeah, and they're having it halfway through that bar a little bit further now, and some good nades coming out, and that repulse not able to do it is now Inept have control of the point as that overshield's coming up very soon, but not able to get there. Some good nades coming in from We Get Wiped, not able to get there over to that overshield as I believe Inept is going to get the kills required to get that overshield, and the time going their way as they're coming back, looking poised to get themselves right back into this game. It looked for a second like we were about to have another dominant King of the Hill game, but Inept to put themselves right back into the driver's seat with that overshield, but a big contest coming in. Worksheet trying to get it done, finds the kill, the trade's going in. Inept get the wipe, just one more kill to go with, and they find it. Inept getting themselves on the time, looking to tie up our game, and they're able to do it. Inept 2-2 on this King of the Hill going into this P5.
But here's where it gets tricky, Joe. You gotta hold onto the middle, and that's a tough point. It truthfully is just a difficult point to hold. Whoever wins this one could just etch themselves over into a potential victory. It still seems like We Get Wiped have the control, but again, Inept continue to fight back tooth and nail. Worksheet lighting up the scoreboard just the same as much as Malachi, but a couple huge kills come in for Inept as they wipe down. Wiped. We'll have to see how things pan out. Heat wave in hand, but no ammo and low HP. It's going to be tough here for Inkful, and he'll lose his life to it.
Yeah, but as well, those fights are going down, and Inept is still on the point. They found themselves almost completing another one in a big sniper kill for Tywin as they find a couple of kills, and both one shot on point. Nobody able to get cleaned up. Benjo finding a kill as they're gonna try and get in there to contest it, and a big nade kill to get them off the point. Inept have that control of the point. It's gonna force We Get Wiped to push right in. As they do that, the repulse play coming in, and they found a little bit of a lifeline getting onto this point as Inept starting to spawn out a little bit, but that's a big kill to get rid of that player on point. Inept finding their way back in, but kills going left and right. A 2v1, a lot going on the back of Sunburnt as Sunburnt finds a kill, but Inept still on that point, getting taken down, and Inept look like they're ready to take themselves into the lead, but We Get Wiped last second, get themselves into the point. Inept not able to close it out as We Get Wiped are in prime position to end up having this control, but Inept have both sides really. They're establishing a little bit of a pinch here as Kills not able to go in. Worksheet finds one, instantly traded, but Inept starting to get themselves onto the point as they're ready to take the lead. A 3-2 lead for Inept going to a P1. Back and forth action. You can't ask for a closer King of the Hill.
It's extremely scrappy, Joe. I mean, these teams just continue to fight tooth and nail back and forth. The frags coming back to each other, but whenever it comes to the stagger, whoever gets that opening pick typically finds himself with the advantage. Benjo, last remaining player, gone, and it's a wipe here for Team Wiped as they were able to take down every single player on Inept, beginning to grab some of this early control of the first point, and, well, they were able to get the first point the first time around. We'll have to see if they're able to do the same. If trend goes true, right, Team Wiped found the first 2 points of the match. Technically, if they find P1 and P2 yet again, they would win. But they gotta be mistakeless, as that's up to Inept to close this one out.
Yeah, and a big spike nade coming out, and Sunbird trying to do what he can. Having a good map so far, and just staying alive, playing his life quite well back green, and that's going to result in some more time for them. Is still Inept. A couple of their players, the way that they're spawning, causing problems. Worksheet with a nice little double kill himself. Big repulse as well to be able to stay alive for him, and not just in the lead, but a big thing to note is that game clock only down to 1:15. But Sniper in the hands of We Get Wiped as they're going to start to get themselves in a push over here. A Sniper and Overshield. Worksheet left on himself. Malachi, a big opening over here, but Worksheet doing a great job at trying to play his life, waste as much time as possible. Big no scope. Afaka does clean up Malachi as We Get Wiped, doing their best to hold on to this best they can as they need to if they want to put themselves back into a tie game.
Yeah, but seized over here will retake onto the nest and try to hold on against Worksheet. Missing a couple crucial shots, though, as the overshields are no longer in effect. Head control still in favor for Sunburnt and the rest of Team Wiped, but still Inept are waiting to fight back, and here's where the push begins.
Yeah, and that push actually is not going to be able to come in just in time. A 3-3 tie game, minute left on the clock. Sunburnt able to find the first. One more player, one shot below, not able to clean it up, but Sunburnt still being a thorn in the side of Inept, not taken down at all, and that's 2 kills going in as he's just being the distraction, and they get still hill control in Inept, trying to force their way in. Inkful finding a kill, but he gets traded out. We Get Wiped, just doing a great job at finding the kills. Kill after kill, slay after slay, continuing to stay in the driver's seat.
Seems like We Get Wiped are just better in the Slayer portion of this match. I'm excited for map 2 because that is a Slayer map, and we'll have to see exactly what happens there. But sometimes We Get Wiped just win the ones that they need, and those are some crucial fights here as, again, Tywin continuing to maintain this tower control, continuing to stay alive. But as overshields go up here for the other side, they'll end up going down. Inept had that control of the overshield, but I don't believe they're actually able to maintain it. I think We Get Wiped may have snagged that one. Yes, indeed. Deceased able to grab it, and also the point as well here for We Get Wiped as they maintain. Try to get some of those crossfires, some of those kills with each other rather than just going for those one-on-one engagements, because they seem just a little bit more disadvantaged in those. And just as I say something, Inept get wiped off of the bat. They're able to get one pick on a Malachi, but the rest of them fall, and that's an early lead and advantage here, especially with active camo for We Get Wiped.
They're not able to find that kill, but Inept put themselves in a little bit of a bad spot. Worksheet getting taken down, put some players in not a great place, but actually able to stay up. That's Benjo in top gold, finding a kill on those gold stairs. And, you know, from what that push originally looked like, it didn't look like they were going to be able to do much, but Benjo again, finding another kill, making gold his house. He says, no, 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 this is my place. Nobody else is allowed in.
I cannot believe Benjo is being allowed with this control here, is again continuing to try to stay alive, but will lose it out. This time though, Worksheet gets the refrag for himself, but Sunburnt finds two that he probably shouldn't have gotten away with too easily. As yet again, it seems like We Get Wiped are just a little bit better on some of those heads-up engagements as Tywin finds two.
And We Get Wiped just winning those fights over and over again. They now have that shock rifle to work with, and we talked about it. The power-up control was going to be a big thing. Shock rifle in We Get Wiped's hands. Active camo, the first one going their way as well. Not able to hit the snipe as Benjo gets one kill, but he is traded out. Worksheet down to 1 HP as well. The shock rifle shots not really going in, but the assists coming in, and Inept have to do something to get themselves back into this game. They are finding themselves in a early 9-kill lead, or hole, I should say.
Not a huge fan of the disadvantage that's been brought upon team Inept, but we'll have to see how things work out. Worksheet's gonna have to clutch this 1 versus 2 if he wants to try to keep some of that map control bodies, and instead it will just elect to stay up, not peek too much, and try to again just stay up for the team. That's the biggest thing here in Slayer, is staying up, staying alive, not finding yourself with those consistent deaths. But there's 5 across the board for Inept as they continue to just fall apart, especially in these team fights.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is We Get Wiped doing a great job at maintaining their lead, right? Getting those trades. Anytime you see blue in the kill feed, you see red in the kill feed right after it. So, you know, it's something different right there. An instant trade coming in, and We Get Wiped, trying to get, you know, hold on to that 11 kill lead that they have. And Inept need to start chaining some things together, making sure that they can build off, try and stagger the spawns a little bit, get some things out as they're isolating 1 kill. Worksheet finding 1 as another one on gold stairs, able to survive and not able to find the kill. Benjo helping Inkful right there, able to stay alive, and Benjo looking to find another one, and he does just that. More kills going Inept as they're starting to show some signs of life for themselves here.
Hey, you've got to be kidding me, Benjo, just trying to fight any way possible back into this match because they've given up such a heavy lead. But just as much as it's been given up, it can be taken back, and certainly we saw that last match. So I expect that there's still an opportunity here for Inept to get some of the controls, begin to win some of their fights if they need to, and try to work together. But a lot of damage happening. Worksheet and Benjo is, again, the long angles being held by Deceased, trying to help each other out. Although he's not fragging out, he's just staying alive and kind of doing the thing that needs to be done for the team, at least to tag up, give your team some information, help them out when you can, and most importantly, stay alive, avoiding those picks that are so crucial here in Slayer.
Yeah, and Inept is doing a great job at taking the opportunities that they're given. And We Get Wiped kind of providing them, but it doesn't feel like that their holes are that big. It's just Inept taking really good advantage of them as they've trimmed this lead down to 6. Say that Worksheet does get traded out, and Benjo able to find the kill in gold, instantly traded. Sunburnt finds 1, and We Get Wiped still maintaining their control, but Inept have started to find themselves a little bit, winning the fights, playing pretty well together and off of each other, but that's just not going to be enough right now. Still a lot that they still need to do. A lot of work needs to be done, but Inept doing a better job. They have this long haul control, but kind of stuck right here. And Worksheet does find 1 instantly traded. Sunburnt finds 1, and 2 players coming up these gold stairs. It's a big engagement as they go 2 for 0, but Benjo finds 1 kill, but that's just not going to be enough. That's not a good engagement for Inept. They need to do better than that if they're going to try and come back.
Again, it just seems like We Get Wiped have made their lead, and now we're just continuing to hold on to it consistently. Just as I say something, it appears as though finally, Team Inept are able to get the pick that they need and hopefully can transition that into more. But the respawn comes through, Benjo loses a fight, and so does Deceased. So again, trades coming through back and forth, but trades are not what you want if you are Inept, because you've got to start pulling back this lead.
Yeah, and not in great spots either. That team fight really big, and that camo up in 30 seconds. This next team fight's going to be big as 2 players go down from we get wiped at the net. Still having to fight this. This camo might be a big swing. They are down 8, but getting this next wave of kills would be big. Not only do you get more kills on the board for yourself, but you also get that camo to work with. So a very big game-changing engagement ready to go as Benjo does get taken down. A couple of kills going in. Baka finds another one and a big shock rifle shot. Malachi finds it, and he finds a second one with the shock rifle. The camo now opened up. Inept almost on the verge of making a big play to get themselves back into the game, but not able to clean it up. Sunburnt gets it, even though Inept do have the camo in the hands of Inkful. Just we get wiped, still maintaining that lead, doing a great job at holding on to it, and Baga not able to find the kills or anything as Sunburnt finds another kill. Malachi finds one for himself, and they only need 5 kills. Inept on the verge of going down 2-0.
Yeah, we get wiped are just manhandling Inept at this point. It seems like they've got all the control, all the bodies that they want, and now you've got to be real conservative if you're Inept. There's no more risky plays that you can make. You've got to try to stack up together and at least get your trades at the very bare minimum, but you've got to work together, and that's not a good start for them as Benjo losing one of those savory lives. There's only 1 life per player left, essentially, until the Slayer is over.
Yeah, and the good thing is, too, for we get wiped here, they don't really have to do all too much. They can wait for Inept to be the ones to make the mistakes, and that's exactly what's happening. Sunburnt does go down, but he has a player near him, and a 12-kill lead to build off of, and 4.5 minutes to deal with it. It's Inept really having to make the plays, but you see Faka going in on the pinch. He puts 1 player to 1 HP. Benjo taking 2 down with him, and that's exactly the start that you need.
Remember the picks that you want, but you're giving up a couple of those deaths, and again, gotta be wary of that because you've only got 2 more now as another body falls here for Inept. 2 lives remaining, otherwise it is all over. Benjo takes a lot of damage. That nade could come through and go huge, but Inkful to get traded out, and it's a winning round again. For we get wiped, they put themselves up 2-0.
It's streets, you know, and as we get into it, Inept find that opening kill, and Rockets still up. It's going to be big. That shroud screen that they're able to use, getting those rockets in. Oh no, Inkful blows himself right up with those rockets, and Malachi able to escape with them. Oh, it was such a good start for Inept, but they're not able to get anything with it. With those rockets now as well, they're able to get the C control and a setup with the Stalker in the hands of the star player Malachi. Shotgun as well. Such a tragic start in Inept. Oh no. That's tough.
Malachi is doing a wonderful job here in top C, but just as I say so, it's a nice little wipe and control of the ball here for Team Inept, as now they will begin to rack up a couple points and try to pass along. Maybe even a rotation here coming from Inept, but we'll have to see if they're able to win their fights. This will be the one to watch as Sunburnt loses his one, but Benjo is dropped somewhere across the map as well. Fights continuing to go back and forth between each team, but we'll have to see who can maintain that ball control for longer.
Yeah, and a little bit of a 3v2 on point, and kills still going their way. Inept doing a little bit better of a job than they were previously, but Inept not able to find this player as the close spawns coming in for we get wiped as they now have control. There's still a couple players to worry about. Baka up top. Inkful actually, he gets the kill. 1 player still in that back elbow spot as Inept have found their way into C as Benjo wrapping over there, and this wave of kills, a big one over here as Rockets are soon to be coming up as Inkful finds 1, and we get wiped, have that A side control, but Inept have that ball.
And fighting and finding those rocks would be huge for whichever team's able to get that control. But Inkful, this is life again. Just seems like it's the same thing over and over again. For Team Inept, they just cannot win their ones. The rocks go huge for Sunbird, able to find one onto Fatal, and will win a second for a double kill, but does get traded out by Inkful for the, you know, we love the spawns sometimes, where one enemy you get two and then they just spawn right behind you. It's unlucky, but happens every time. Still, though, ball control not established quite yet, as neither team have really found a comfortable spot to be able to pick up the ball and begin to gather more points.
Yeah, that's a tragic reset right there as well. They just got that C control. Would have been a nice little setup to have, but the ball resets and Inept find that next wave of kills. That is 3 dead, is deceased. Spawns out all the way in A and finds that kill, but still Inept working on this ball side and finding a couple kills, as all these players are weak, as Tywin finds one, Worksheet finds one as well, and that ball inside of C, excuse me, not inside of C, but Inept are in control of this side of the map, and trades still going out left and right as Inept coming out on top over there, as they don't have the lead, but what they do have is control of the part of the map that they need to. Inkful finding a kill, that should be enough to get that ball inside of C and start to build a setup, as a couple of these players still holding on strong on the C side. Worksheet over here to help on this C area, brings out that Stalker rifles. There's 2 players to deal with, a couple of them both weak, as Benjo finding a kill over deep on that B side. The ball is played out, maybe a little bit too soon, but it doesn't matter. The lead is out, as they are going to prioritize those rockets, as they found 2 players over here and a big kill, whatever they can find next. But that shroud screen once again allowing Inept to grab those rockets and escape with them. Even though they don't have the ball, they do grab those rockets.
Hey, be able to get the nice setup with the shroud screen and the rocks. Of course, that always helps so much. Inkful able to take down Disease, who's, I feel like, struggled a lot in this match, Joe. I think Disease is one of the players that I've just not seen pop off or be able to really have a big impact here before we get wiped. I feel like if he was able to just be a little bit more engaged in some of these gunfights with his team, that you'd find a little bit more success when we get wiped, and maybe this match wouldn't be as close as we've seen. But just as I'm saying that, again, Inept controlling the ball, controlling the fights, and winning them out as needed, trying to get the setup over to C.
Yeah, and still opening kills on this exchange going their way, and that shroud screen on this feels like it's always been in the hands of Inept, has been just utilized so well. It's nice to see the meta kind of shaping up with that shroud screen and how powerful it can be in the right hand. And Worksheet kind of in a bad spot. Faka trying to find his way to try and open up some space for Worksheet to work with. This Worksheet does not find that kill. Deceased, a big 1v1 win, which has been the story of what We Get Wiped has been able to do so far. Trades going their way. A little bit of ball time, a little bit of stabilization for them, as Inkful trying to find that kill. He does, and they're able to get into C, start to play around the kills, as Rockets is up in 20 seconds, and Inept getting the kills at the right time.
You know, with 60 seconds remaining, Rockets could be huge to have control of your late game. Just depends on how well We Get Wiped try to fight back. Can they get control of the Rockets? Can they try to fight their way in and get the control of C? Because that's what they've struggled with. They struggle to get inside and truly crack the defense, and it just doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do it. As Faka is able to find 2 with the Sentinel Beam.
What a big kill. Love the entirety of the sandbox being used for this. Faka, a big kill with that Stalker rifle. We've seen over and over again what it can do in the right hands. Rockets in the hands of Inept once again. Players still surviving with it. I believe the Rockets player does go down, but Inept able to continue to find these kills and picks up the wrong weapon, and Sunbird gets a 2-piece, and the Rockets, that's a triple kill, a big one to get the ball and the C control. What a chain of events. Inept, all of that could have been even the round if he picks up the Rockets instead of that disruptor, but We Get Wiped have this control and only 20 seconds left on this clock as a big wave of kills coming in. Faka able to find a big two-piece, throws out the ball, and 15 seconds left on the game clock. All Inept have to do is find the kills as Benjo gets that first kill, opens it up. Benjo with the second, and there's only 5 seconds left. They have to not only find these kills, but find the ability to get the ball, and they're not able to do it. Inept get the first round win on this streak through these OBJ game modes and finding themselves in a little bit of a lead right now. A good spot for them to be in, like you just said.
It's the beginning of round 2 that we missed out on. We got to see exactly how things play it out. As his bodies continue to fight. Benjo, though, losing that fight for the Rockets control is, I believe, ball has been established as now the A side control is the play. At least it appears as that is the way. No, they're going for the C. Going for the C hold, just as we saw before. And that's what Inept is comfortable with, and I imagine that we're going to continue to see Inept roll with the control.
Yeah, and Deceased with those rockets in his hand, we get wiped. Have this early control and everything that they need. The rocket's going to be big and not able to find the kill, but able to back down that player. So we get wiped. A lot of early control, a big bounce back round for them, a big 1v1 here, and Deceased doing a great job at playing his life, but he does go down as there's 2 players for here, and a good start for Inept to start to get back into this, but the only problem is with these kills, they haven't been able to get themselves into Tram quite yet. Have to get over here, but they do have the ball, they do have the numbers, and as long as they can find these kills, they might be able to get some time. And he does get taken down, but the ball does get in there. Still have the numbers here to work with. Inept still have this opportunity to work with, but can they convert?
All come down as we get wiped, have built themselves a nice early starting lead, but now Inept, I believe, have made their way on through. No, it's actually we get wiped, who have the control of C and will begin to yet again make more or get more points and just continue to hold on to the ball and try to build up a nice large lead.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want, isn't it? So, I mean, a good spot for them to be in and not able to convert on the situation that they just had, and a nice 44-1 lead right here for them. But oh, as I say that, Inept have found themselves the kills and found themselves having that C control, but this rocket play is really just gonna be a big time, really just opportunity here. But Tywin finding himself in a good spot, and I believe the rockets are Inkful's hands and able to find a kill with it, and it's just a big play for them, a big turning point, hopefully. And once again, as long as they can convert, it's not something they've been able to do so far on this round, but looks like they've done enough to be able to get some time right here. And the Stalker going into a big hands with Inkful finding the kills.
A very nice double kill there by Inkful. Now decides to get aggressive, wants to go push into the spawn of We Get Wiped, and is doing so well. Able to find 3, but then ends up losing his life, brings down 1 HP, and wastes a little bit of the time of We Get Wiped, but still they manage to be in control. Inept continuing to build more points on the ball and continue to have the control that they desire. As again, it appears as though the ball rotation this time coming around all the way over to B and maybe even over into the A side. We might see an A hold for the first time in this match. I'd like to see a change of things, and especially for how much Inept had struggled early in this round. We'll have to see if they're able to make any progress with the A hold.
And a couple players going down, and just one more player, and Sunburnt over there, and We Get Wiped do get the control as they do get the kills, and they're able to bring that ball back to C as a couple players very hurt over here, but able to stay alive. Sunburnt helping his teammates stay alive. Inkful going down, and trades numbers in the hands of We Get Wiped as they're continuing to find the kills. A much different round for them so far, but not able to find too much time with those kills that they've just had in the ball. Not in a great place for them to really find the kills here either, as Inept find themselves with the hands of the ball, and Inkful able to get some time over here. He's trying to rotate the ball, not able to do so as he gets taken down. Sunburnt down to not the highest HP either. And once again, a close oddball round really for the most part. We get wiped to get this ball over to the A side, which is where they're spawning. But even though they're spawning here, they are getting taken down. They're not able to find the kills. 3 kills going their way. Sunburn finds himself 2 as they get the ball out of there. Inkful finding a double kill himself, but losing the spawns as we get wiped. Not only have the rockets, but they have the spawns.
Yeah, well, it's actually going to be Inept that has the rockets, but both of them are going to miss, as now here comes the take here from Inept. It's more bodies again continue to be fragged out and felled in this battle for the ball control, but again, continuing to lose their fights is Inept. But just as I say something, Inept able to find 2 Malachi falls as well, so lots of bodies traded out, no one with ball control, but it's deceased to hero out for We Get Wiped and begins to collect more of those points.
Yeah, and we get wiped, looking to close out this round. 30 seconds left, all that they need, and it's going to be a big break here for Inept. They need to get one, but that's actually one player going down. Traded out right there. Another one weak in tires, but Inkful goes down. No trade this time for them, as Benjo has found his way to this back A spot, but not able to find the kills. Gets the ball out mid, which is a good play for him, but the kills not going their way as we get wiped, or maybe not too disappointed with that play as they're able to get over to this ball, get it out, and the Slays, much different story than that first round. They've been able to kind of change the story of what they had that first time, as Worksheet does find one. First kill going Inept's way, and trades just going out over and over again. That's not what Inept needs. 15 seconds left before we get wiped to close out this round and send us to a 3rd round.
Yeah, Inept is really gonna have to step up their pressure if they want We Get Wiped to lose this round, but it appears as though with the ball control, Sunburn is just going to run for the hills, try to collect as many of these points as possible, put themselves within 1 or 2 seconds of a full round win, rather, to be able to close this one out. 9 seconds remain for We Get Wiped, because they are so close. But again, Inept just continue to fight back, and they have this mid control. They're going to be able to get rockets and try to get this nice little push, hopefully able to put themselves into a position where they can begin to win this round.
And they do have ball, they have rockets, they have a little bit of control, but they're actually going to start rotating this ball. They know all these players are B. They know kind of the timing of this push is going to be there. Inkful finds 1 kill with the rockets. A little bit of a bright spot for them so far, and they still have the C control. It should force these players to spawn out here, and rockets still in their hands. Trades going out. Benjo not able to do too much, and like we said, a little bit of a bad rotation from them. Not able to get the best out of those rockets, but the trade's still going their way. But the numbers are not going their way. 5 seconds left. Inkful, they're gonna have to find this kill onto Deceased as he turns the corner. Only 2 seconds left. Able to find the kill. 2 seconds remaining. All they have to do is get onto the ball, and able to find the kill. Faka not able to do it. Inkful does have the ball, however. Gonna rotate it over B. Worksheet does find Malachi, and still, they are in this game. It's not over yet. Tywin trying to get in, and We Get Wiped. Do not find the ball quite yet, but Tywin finding the kills. 2 kills for him. They now have the numbers. Inkful gonna have to do not just playing the ball out, but gonna have to try and find some kills, and not gonna be enough, it seems, as they find the kills, they find the time, they find the round, they tie us up 1-1 and send us to a round 3 on this map 3 oddball.
Well, Joe, map 3, or round 3 rather, underway of map 3, and here is I think the biggest pivotal point, right? Inept had a nice first round, were able to get control, but it was scrappy. Then We Get Wiped, I think, cleaned that one out. I think the second round was just a clean round for We Get Wiped. They were able to have the control they wanted, and they racked up a lot of points in a good amount of time, appropriately enough so to where at the end they could just play ball time, play it out of the hands of Inept, and be able to close out nicely on points. But still, this time they get the top C control, they get the opening picks that they need, and now establish a solid foundation here as We Get Wiped. Prepare to try to win this series.
Yeah, they are looking to do just that. It feels like they just woke up. A fire has been lit under them yet again as they're looking a lot like they did on those first couple maps. The slaying going in their hands, but Inept have that ball at the moment and finding a little bit of control right here, finding the kills as well. Inkful not able to find too much over there as he's taken down, and a couple of big kills going in right here. Benjo able to survive, have the shotgun in his hands, but we get wiped. Have the ball, but still being a pest back here. Benjo still trying to do what he can, and he's taken down with that shotgun, not aware that there's another player over there, and not able to use that shotgun to the best of its ability. And Inkful, big kill going in right here as Inept are starting to fly through this sea. Nobody really able to get too much control of the ball right now as we find only a 4-point game as Inept able to get into C and get some ball time.
Yeah, and they're able to stack this up fairly nicely, I would imagine, as well, we get wiped. They're gonna have to wait for some of the respawns and also wait for their shields to regenerate because they are taking so much damage. But one of the bodies is able to sneak back into the back site, but is fighting 3 men. There's no assistance here for we get wiped. So I don't know if Malachi's going to be able to win this one out. A quick dash and it'll be a trade to come through. But again, Inept trading out their own bodies, but just as I say something, they've lost most of their bodies, and Worksheet falls as well. It's a near team wipe. Faka able to walk back in and hopefully go try to fight, but instead we get wiped, end up getting control of the ball, and now begin to rack up points yet again.
Yeah, those rockets are big. 2 players going down, and maybe if Inept can grab these rockets, maybe use that to get this break over here and get some more ball time, but we get wiped. Doing a great job at holding on to everything over there. That nade not going to do the damage that they need, and unfortunately Faka has walked right into where we get wiped is spawning. Not the best place for them to be, as the damage is now going to be coming in, as Inkful does get a trade, but that's not going to be enough to get these players out of C. And Sunburnt finding the kills that they need and finding a little bit of time himself.
That's just rough here for Inept as we get wiped continues to just pile on more points. But now here comes the push. The ball has to be dropped for Sunburnt, and it seems like Inept have a nice push into the site. Hopefully could be able to get themselves set up, but just as I say something, Inkful and Faka both lose their fights. Sunburnt falls, but Benjo and Worksheet are gonna have to try to make something big of this control.
Yeah, and the kills, they need to try and hold on to it as best that they can. Benjo does get taken down, and Worksheet is 1 HP, but he does slide right on out of there, but he has to watch one of his teammates die. We get wiped. Finding these kills, and their lead may not be that big, but it's just looking like they're about to get ready to build it, but the ball resets again. That's not the first time that's happened. They just got that C control, but the ball resets, and it allows Inept to have an opportunity to make sure that they can't get themselves back into a beast setup, and the kills. Inept not that far off, some of them going their way. I believe they have that man advantage, and the shotgun, however, we get wiped. Sunburnt doing the job and has to now play that ball out, and a tough run of events for them. And Inept maybe dodging a bullet right there.
So close here, but we get wiped. Continue to maintain that lead, and remember, if they close this one out, they'll have won the series. So Inept are trying to fight every bit tooth and nail because they've got nothing to lose here on this map. It's either win or you're done. We get wiped. They can mess around a little bit, but they still want to close this one out in a quick fashion. It'd be nicer for them, I'm sure. They get the night, at least a little bit of an earlier night off. Rockets in hand now this time for we get wiped, or for Inept rather, as Faka's able to grab the rocks, work a pick, but loses his life yet again due to the contention. The weapon just so loved for both teams. Again, bodies traded back and forth. It's scrappy, it's nasty. Ball control not in favor for anyone.
No, not in control of anyone, but good news is for Inept, they have that ball, and they're about to find themselves in a lead. A little bit of a comeback as one of their players do go down. We get wiped, have that B control, able to start pushing in, but that Stalker Rifle doing so much damage, as we know it can. And he's found himself in a pretty decent spot right here. If he's able to find the kill, not able to do it. Shroud Screen helping Sunburnt stay alive, not able to find that stalker rifle for himself. And now we do see that ball in We Get Wiped's hand as another lead change coming in. We Get Wiped find themselves in a lead, and just such a back and forth game.
Yet again, We Get Wiped beginning to build some of the time on those points. Malachi will get the information that there's a couple of the Inept players beginning to push their way on through. Benjo has to try to go grab the ball, wants to try to reset, but instead is going to go for the fight. Thinks that that's more valuable as time. Will win it out against Disease, and now can grab the ball at least for a little bit. If not, just go for the reset and try to waste some of the time. And this appears to be the play here for Benjo, as he'll grab onto the ball, and now nades thrown up plenty deep into Tram, but another kill here for Inept.
Yeah, and they once again have this area kind of locked down for the most part. Nade's coming in, doing a great job at doing all that, and Tywin taken down as not being able to get the ball time, but they still have the kills and helping each other out. The bait and switch going in, and the shroud screen coming out from Sunburnt gets out with his life, and short-lived as he gets taken down from those beast stairs. And still, Net have that ball as the lead. I believe this is the biggest one that they've had all game, and not just that, it's still building.
Yeah, Inept able to get just a nice lead built up, has the ball, even fighting for the Rockets here at mid, which I think they'll be able to get control, but still just fighting for their life. It'll be Benjo to get control of the Rockets, but still ball control in favor of Inept. It appears as though they might just get to the point of closing this one out. 2 Rockets in hand. If we would have went out this last fight, they would close this one out and at least take a map off the series, sending us to the capture the flag.
Yeah, extending our night a little bit, which we love. We love some close Halo as that rocket kill comes in. Nobody close enough to do anything about it. We get wiped. End up going
No
down.
concern for Inept here in this match if they end up losing out on some of these flag points.
And we do get the rocket control, however. A couple trades coming in. The kills kind of similar, but they do get that rocket control, which is a lot better than what they had last time. The rocket does go out, even though he does get taken down. It is a good thing. He does shoot that other rocket, so it doesn't go into the hands of We Get Wiped. Both of them down, and Inept kind of on the upper hand here, have a lot of control. A beautiful shot coming in, but still trades going through. A beautiful no-scope for Malachi, who's a player that needs to step up if We Get Wiped is going to close out this series.
Yeah, Malachi was hitting the shots huge in the first two maps of the series, but map number 3 went stone cold quiet on Street. So Malachi having a big bounce back map could be huge for We Get Wiped, but even if any of the other bodies want to step up, then it would certainly be impactful as well. We Get Wiped, well, you get wiped. And now it's on to Inept. Try to fight for some of that flag control.
Yeah, and nothing too much here, but Inept have that forward momentum, and another nice sniper coming in, not able to find the kill. That's 2 dead. Inept get our first flag pull of the game, and they do get it out of that original area, the flag spawn, but not able to get it much further as Malachi does that damage. Benjo throwing himself away a little bit, and that's going to allow We Get Wiped to push up the map a little bit as Malachi doing some damage. He finds another kill. He's put himself in their pit as the kills continue to go the way of We Get Wiped, and they've put themselves in advantages. They get the first pull for themselves, and they should be able to continue to go forward as Faka able to do some damage, but not able to find some kills. And Inept on the back foot right here, and We Get Wiped get it to their side of the map as they're poised to get the first cap of this game.
Yeah, it looks like We Get Wiped are going to be able to close this cap out as they do so, and now they'll be able to work for a second one as they've nicely countered the attempt of a push to stall the flag drop by Inept. Is now again a slow workaround, trying to get the control, try to win out a couple of these fights, but a trade comes through, and now all of a sudden We Get Wiped. We're starting to lose a couple more bodies, a little bit more life, and it looks like Inept are beginning to grab a little bit of momentum here in the second bit of the match.
Yeah, the Rockets do go their way, but the overshield Yeah, traded out, so Inept kind of in equal spots at the moment. The Rockets not doing all that much. He does burn the overshield with it. Trades still going out, but Malachi, a 7-1 start with 4 assists. So much damage being done for him, and Inkful found himself in this Sniper 2, the top 2 position, and he's going to have to find some more damage. Not able to do a Malachi doing even more damage, but 2 kills going Inept's way as they found themselves into the opposition's needles as they get a flag pull, but a nice no-scope getting hit too. No-scope going in, and as he finds the kill, Sunburnt going big for his team when he needs it. Inept not able to get the flag out for a second time. They're doing enough to get into the base and get the pulls, but they're not doing enough to get it out of their base and not to the 50-yard line that would really allow them to get a capture, and Inept just not doing enough to get themselves back into this game.
Well, Faka will find a couple kills in mid and now begin to work their way back across. Them being Inept as they'll try to work on these scrappy fights here inside middle of the map as each team trying to cross that halfway line and trying to get the pick so that way they can bloody their way into a nice push. But Benjo is the last remaining member here for Inept to defend onto the flag, and it looks like Malachi wants to get aggressive, tries to go deep, but he's going to be fighting so many members of Inept should he want to, and I just think he's going to have to call it back. But no, he'll turn around, lose his life. He goes a little bit too deep, but that may be the opener that's needed as Tywin, Sunburn, and Tywin again find all of the bodies. This last player, Faka, is the only player between Inept, or I'm sorry, between We Get Wiped and the flag, and now as the respawns come through, it appears as though We Get Wiped have begun to make their secondary push.
Yeah, and that push is coming in. They're doing such a good job at capitalizing off their frags, aren't they? And another no-scope coming in, but not able to find the kill. Faka actually finding a 2-piece himself. The flag is coming out, however, and Inept need to prevent this flag from coming out. A 2-0 hole is not the place you want to be, especially with those power-ups coming up, and that's actually a big kill. They have the Rockets control if they want, but Malachi, a big stick as he's able to exit with the Rockets, able to find 1 kill with it, but
no.
2 kills with it. But the overshield is in the hands of Inept, and let's see what Inkful can do with it.
They work together real well, then they'll be able to take out Inkful, but the overshield is helpful as ever for Inept as Inkful finds 1 and even has the supporting crew of Worksheet to find another. Worksheet looking to win this fight on the Sunbird, not quite able to do so, but the trade comes through for Inept. So again, they continue to trade out the bodies, they continue to win out some of their fights, and although they don't win them all, grabbing those overshields is so impactful.
Yeah, so impactful indeed. It's kind of kept them in the game because they haven't really been winning Rockets, and Worksheet now down to 1 HP, able to find the kill onto Tywin, and they've once again found themselves into the base. That's 3 kills, excuse me, and the flagpole does come out. We've seen them struggle a lot with getting the flag out, but it looks like they're going to get it past the 50-yard line this time. Baka being a thorn in their side as Benjo does get it out to Inept's side of the map, but he does get taken down. That flag run is going to be paused, and the kills going towards We Get Wiped as it looks like that return is going to come in, and maybe a counter pull going to come in, but the snipes not going the way of Tywin. Not able to get hit, but Tywin with that last shot of the clip able to connect as he continues to find the shots, but Inept starting to stabilize a little bit, but as that time starts to tick down, they need to find that flag cap that will bring them back into this game.
Tywin wasn't looking too comfortable with the sniper in hand, but it would land at least a shot and trade things out, also waste all the rest of the ammo, so it keeps a gun out of the hands of Inept. But now is on to see how Sunburn try to deal with some of these Inept players. Malachi and Deceased able to each find a pick for themselves as Deceased is beginning to heat up. I bashed on him a little bit the first map, but this time he's really popping off, getting those 12 kills. Every player on team We Get Wiped just continuing to be dominant in their frags, have double digits. Everyone's trying to go for the triple-double, but still, things not lining up too well as they lose out on their fights here in the middle of the map, and Rockets control potentially.
And overshield control firmly in the hands of Inept, but A beautiful little back smack from Tywin, a nice play from him to grab the rockets. We've seen neither team be able to lock down both, and you gotta think, if Inept knows where Tywin is right there and able to find these rockets, they would have been able to really string it together. And you see the rockets always seem to come on top instead of the overshield, so you'd like to see Inept maybe prioritize those rockets, but not able to do it. And once again, at a little bit of a stalemate, teams fighting for control of the middle of the map. Neither team able to come out on top quite yet, but I'm sure we get wiped pretty comfortable with this position that they're in, as they have their lead pretty safely at this moment.
See, as again, bodies continue to fall, but we're still in it, still maintained. At least so far, but again, back and forth these fights go, and if you're Team Inept, you're not a big fan of the back and forth fights, because you need to close at least one of these pulls out, try to tie something up, try to make something happen. And they were so close on one pull earlier on, but they haven't been able to get any traction since. They're still stalled, still slow as ever, and here is a nice pull.
Yeah, and only one player up at the moment, all of them spawning out, but Worksheet has a lot of responsibility on himself, as he's the only one pushed up that far. But a kill goes in to stop that flag carry for right now, but Malachi is still over there to try and get ready to push it forward as he finds a couple of kills, and it looks like they might be able to do it. But Benjo, all on him to try and get this flag returned. He's still alive over here. The repulse coming in, still finds his way to waste as much time as possible, but the kill's gonna come in. They're still being traded out, but Inept not able to do enough. We get wiped, able to get the kills as they find the second cap. And with the time ticking down, Inept need to get something going quickly.
They just failed to gain any sort of traction, Joe, and maybe off that pull with we get wiped being so far back in their spawn, they can take the advantage as Worksheet, Banjo, and Faka each find one of their own. This is the time where they can get a nice little counter pull, begin to get some of that progress back. But with the spawns coming in, this could be ugly here for Inept. But they are able to get the flag pull, but immediately shut down by Sunbird with the heat wave.
Yeah, and the flag cap's going to have to come in. It's very hard to relay flags on this map, really on any of them except for Aqua. So it's just a minute 45, and as the time continues to tick down, the advantage still in the hands of We Get Wiped. The further the clock ticks down, but a triple kill coming from Inkful, and the overkill stolen from him as they get the flag cap now. The overshield's going to be big from them as Benjo finds another kill. The flag still on the plat. Sunburnt finds the kill onto Benjo, but Inkful still in their base. Has to get something going now more than ever. The flag starting to get returned, but Malachi finds the first kill. A second one going in, and Faka all on him to be able to get this flag out. Benjo also on that long position, and a minute left. They're not able to find the kills. We Get Wiped holding on as Deceased finds a double kill.
Yeah, Deceased is turning up this map, and it shows on the score overall. 50 seconds remain, and the flag goes back to its home territory. You have to think this is almost all but over. It is possible for Inept, but it's going to require a miracle, Joe.
Yeah, and the game should be decided with this push and 2 kills early going down. Inept, it's a 1v1 going into this flag position as Sunburnt found his way to stay alive, and Faka starting to get it out, not able to win the fight. His teammates so far, as there's only 20 seconds left. The return goes in. Sunburnt gets it done as Inept not able to find the kills when it mattered. The trade's going through, but the time is not. 10 seconds remaining as it looks like we're going to see We Get Wiped close out the series.
Incredible job by We Get Wiped to close things out. Deceased really stepping up big on the final map. Sunbird the only one to fall shy of 20 kills, but